This is Peter Stanley. Welcome to my channel. Today is September 20th, 2020, and this is my weekly pepper grow update. Okay, so I'll start with the these 3-gallon container peppers. This is the white pequeno. Been pretty lax on picking these down. There's a bunch on there, right? This is the Khang Starr Peach Star-Kissed. And I picked a bunch of these, and a few more are starting to turn ripe. And there's a bunch of green ones on there still. This is Ahi Rainforest. It's a Bacatum pepper. Got a bunch on here I need to pick. Picked a few of these already, but this is the Blue Christmas. It's another one I've picked down, and all of these green pods are relatively new, so these will all turn ripe eventually. It's getting kind of late in the season, but I bet they'll probably be able to turn if we don't get any real bad cold weather. This is the Chocolate Naga Brain. A few on here. And next to it's ACNY crossed with Bubblegum 7 Yellow. And I did have a branch break off and die, but I've got a bunch that are okay. Pop one of these off. This is how they look ripe. Jalapeno is to have a kind of a bleeding, like a large bleeding calyx, and my other plant has that, but this one, which I'll show in a minute, but this one doesn't. This is my solid gold boot. It's a pretty productive plant, and I'm actually starting to get one starting to turn. Primo Cross, not chocolate, was what the seeds were, but it's actually throwing out chocolate pods, which is pretty cool. I did harvest a bunch of these. Find a good angle for the lighting. So it's starting to turn. I picked all the ripe ones. I think there's a few back here. There's MA Mutant Cross. It's another day where I'm like picking the worst time of day to video because I'm in the shadow. Everything I'm shooting is in my shadow. It's got some really gnarly peppers. They're kind of ripening out to like a caramel color, sort of. This is a large Thai yellow long. I was going to call it large orange Thai because I think that's the same thing as one I grew previous year called large orange Thai. Pretty sure it's the same exact thing, but it's the Thai yellow long. That's another one. I've picked it down recently. I got a few more back in there. This is my Faria Cross. And these, it's not my cross, but the seeds are Faria. They're not like what you would expect. So I think it's crossed, but they turn red. And then I've got over here Peri Peri. And I've kind of neglected this plant, but as far as picking it down, but I did it not too long ago, but I've got a few ripe. There's a bunch of green ones on there. 60-gallon Kratky Lingria. It's a Khang Starr Cross. Leaves have been drooping a little bit. I don't know if it's getting ready to run out of nutrients. Otherwise, it looks pretty healthy. The way this is on here, it'd be really hard to add more nutrients. It's kind of an experiment to see if this will go the whole season. This guy's got a massive trunk on it. This is what would be considered a sucker that I didn't trim off, that grew out a whole nother branch. Yeah, it's got a huge trunk. I'll show the roots when I take it down. But it's pretty loaded. I got a bunch of red ones I need to pick still. And it comes way over here too. It's a pretty plant. This over here, Ghostly Jalapeno. I picked a bunch of these too. There's a bunch more have turned. It's a pretty productive plant. It's in a self-hoarding container getting master blend. I've got two big plants here in the same container. One's Budla XP F4. It's the one with the purple foliage. And it's got a few that have turned. There's one there. And then I've got, this is from Jimmy Johnson, and I've got a mystery, like a volunteer that popped up next to it. It's this one right here, and it's putting out a bunch of pods now. So you got these multiple pods per node on the way it's growing. Everything is pretty much determined. It's a Chinese pepper, and the way the pods look. It's almost looking like my Mayan Hab. Mayan Hab produced pods kind of shaped like this, but also it looks kind of bootish in some ways too. But when it turns ripe, if I get a ripe one before it gets cold, I can narrow that down. But these are the pods on that Bootleg XP before they turn ripe. They're really cool looking. And then this plant here in another self-ordering container getting master blend is the Dragon's Breath. And it's fairly productive, and I've just started getting some ripe pods. Hopefully I have time to do a review on it. There's some more. Something got a hold of that one. But yeah, there's a few more. There's a bunch of green ones. But yeah, this was the first pod, and it's ready to pick. This is these three plants here are getting mega crop, and this is a chocolate ghost jammy. I didn't really tie it to the support, so it's kind of just sprawled over to here. It's got a lot of good fruits on. I picked these recently too. There's another ripe one. And this one I'm just dumping mega crop in here every couple of days. There's a OLTS, which is an orange long-tailed scorpion from seeds that were boot pheno. And a lot of these have the boot pheno pods. The other one I'm growing is more of the scorpion shape. A few of these have the little tails, but most of these are like, you know, the I guess like the one the seeds were saved from. I mean, I got a few that have the little tail on them like that. That's another one from Jimmy Johnson, and this is another one from him. And this is the ANCY crossed with bubblegum. I don't have any ripe ones, but you can see it's got the large calyx like the bubblegums have. You know, so these will probably bleed through. So that's a desired characteristic on these, my understanding. Those look good. I need to get this guy out to more sun, but this is my 7-pot West in the 2-gallon fabric pot. It's been kind of shaded from from this plant, so it's not been getting as much sunlight. That's why it's kind of sprawling. But I've got a ripe pepper and some turning ripe. These are really hot. It's a really good pepper too. Here's my Batman Big Bat Red. It's got more of that rust color, so it's more like the big rusty Batman. And the pods coming out now are a little smaller than they were initially. And I picked a lot of those down, but that's about how big they are now. The ones on my other plant are not as bumpy, but they're a lot bigger. And it kind of goes over there too. The Sand Peach is producing fairly small peppers, but it's got some on it. And there's a chocolate Bootla under here as well. This is the 27-gallon Kratky. This one here is Reaper Tally. Leaves look kind of iffy. I probably need to. It's probably due really to refresh the nutrients and drain out what's here and add fresh, but I've got it hooked to a reservoir that feeds fresh nutrients, but you know, everything draws down and you get a buildup of salts and whatnot. But it's right at the end of the season, so I'm not going to worry with it. But that's why we're getting some of these little dots on the leaves and whatnot. It's just a nutrient imbalance. But it's looking okay, and I've got a Kinksta Yellow right next to it. This is another one I picked down yesterday. There's one of the pods. There were a bunch more on here. And there's a few on here still green. The reservoir, I think I had about 22 gallons in here. I had kind of guessing 25 maybe, and it's drawn down 2 5-gallon. I filled it up twice, and it's time to add more to it. So we're getting ready to add another 5 gallons to that. This is a Khang Starr Lemon Starburst in a self-warning container. This one's getting mega crop. So that I picked down several times, and I've got a bunch more of the ones that were green turning now, so I'll be picking these soon. Seems to like the mega crop okay. I've been just giving it 4 grams per gallon of that. Alright, so that's my grow update. Probably won't have too many more of these before it starts getting cold, but I'll try to show these as long as I have peppers. I've been harvesting a lot and freezing and drying peppers. So anyway, that's my update. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.